What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are actually going to continue our coverage over Night Terrors. Now, remember, this is DC's big summer event, but with that being said, when it comes to Night Terrors, it's about the idea that right now, there's a new bad guy out there known as Insomnia, who's right now trying to find the Nightmare Stone. Now, for him to be able to actually find the Nightmare Stone, he has to jump around between different people's nightmares as a way to hopefully find the Nightmare Stone, because apparently the Nightmare Stone was placed in someone's nightmares, and so that is why he is jumping around between different people's nightmares. Now, he did put the entire world to sleep, so that will be easier for him to actually jump around between different people's nightmares. Now, the main storyline is really more about a select few characters right now working together to actually stop Insomnia. But when it comes to the tie-ins, they are technically used as a way for us to explore the worst fears of select characters of DC Comics, heroes and villains. And so today's video, we're going to try to find out, what is Batman's fear? Or does Batman have any fears at all? Now, the reason why I said we're going to try to figure out what are Batman's worst fears is because as we dive into the storyline, we actually pick up with a flashback. And of course, with this flashback, Alfred is alive because currently in DC Comics, Alfred is still dead. Either way right now, you have Alfred and Batman trying a new method out, a new kind of machine, because Batman realized that when it comes to his bad guys, they're always trying to use his fears against him as a way to defeat him. And so what Batman says to Alfred is that he learned a new method, and of course he has a new machine that's going to help lock away all his fears, so that none of his enemies will be able to actually access his mind, learn about his fears, and try to use his fears against him. Now, for Alfred, he's kind of like, this seems a tad bit extreme, but for Batman, it's a way to protect himself. Now, with this new machine, he has to stay in that machine for 24 hours, except when he goes in, all we see is one particular fear, or the worst moment of his life. And of course, it was when his parents were killed. Now, when he was pulled out of the machine, he thought it was only a few minutes. But you have Alfred tell him, no, sir, you were in there for 24 hours. Which means that when it comes to all the different kind of things we would believe that Batman be scared of, he's only scared of one thing, and that is the death of his parents. And so that is the moment where we actually jump to the present day. Now, when we do jump to the present day, it's right now Bruce Wayne in his nightmare, because Insomnia put the entire world to sleep. And so right now in this nightmare, he has to relive one of the worst moments of his life. And of course, it's the death of his parents. Now, at this moment in time, Bruce Wayne had apparently conquered all his fears. That is why we had that flashback, to see that in the past, he was trying to actually conquer his fears for a particular moment like this. And so right now it's him saying, you may try to use this against me, but I had prepared my mind to actually deal with something like this. Now, that is the moment you do have his mom's pearl appear. Now, when his mom pearls appear, of course, they come in as giant size pearls. And the reason why? To push him into another part of one of the worst nights in his life, to hopefully do some kind of harm to the mind of Bruce Wayne, to kind of continue on with his nightmare. And so that is the moment where we do see him right now in the Monarch Theater. Now, when it comes to the Monarch Theater, of course, we have to remember this was the place where him and his parents saw that movie right before his parents were shot. Now, with that being said though, Bruce Wayne realized that he's right now in some kind of nightmare. And on top of that, he knows a method to actually get out of this nightmare. The problem is though, his method is not working. And the reason why? Because Deadman right now is using his body as a way to hopefully stop insomnia in the world of the living. And so because Deadman right now has control of his body, Bruce Wayne cannot wake up. He cannot escape this nightmare. And so even though right now he's not scared, unfortunately, he's still stuck in this nightmare. And so right now it's him saying, okay, dead man, let go of my body, because if you don't, I can't wake up and I can't save the day. And honestly, I like this because it's kind of DC saying, listen, we can't use Batman all the time to hopefully save the day for the entire world. And so this is a way to kind of keep him busy just long enough so that other characters can actually save the day. Now that is the moment you do have something really grab young Bruce Wayne and pull him inside the screen, inside the theater. Now that is the moment where we do see him right now at Wayne Manor, but really in the backyard of Wayne Manor. And of course he sees a bunch of tombstones, and all these tombstones are technically owned by someone who's close to Bruce Wayne. So of course his parents, Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason, and the list goes on and on. But the reason why he's at this moment right now, because it seems like his nightmare trying to say, oh look, I have another fear of yours, watching everybody you love die around you. But again, it's Bruce Wayne saying, I'm not scared. And it's Bruce Wayne saying, I know what you're trying to do, Insomnia. You're trying to use my fears against me. Now that is the moment you have Insomnia appear. He's kind of like, nah, man, listen, I'm not doing this. Matter of fact, it's you who's doing this. Matter of fact, you're the one in charge of your own nightmare, because what you did to yourself is that you try to conquer your fears and lock your fears all away so that nobody could actually use your fears against you. But in reality, because you did that, you created this nightmare world of yours. And so technically, I don't have to do anything at all. I'm just going to sit on the sideline and just watch you go through this nightmare. And hopefully, as you go through your nightmare, I'll find the Nightmare Stone, the one particular item that I'm actually looking for. Now, at the same time, though, it is Insomnia telling us that apparently in the real world of the living, he was actually from Gotham. And so we do learn a tad bit more about Insomnia in this storyline. And so that is the moment where you do have Selina Kyle appear. Now, when she appears, this right here is technically another fear of Bruce Wayne, where of course it's saying that Bruce Wayne is scared of never finding true love. Now, of course, he tells Insomnia once again that when it comes to all his fears, he was able to conquer them. And so even though Selina Kyle does represent the idea that he'll never find true love, he's okay and he moved on. Except that is the moment a bat creature does come out of his body. Now, when it comes to this bat creature, is actually another thing of Bruce Wayne. And what Insomnia says that when you became Batman, you made a symbol of yourself, the creature of the night, the nightmares of bad guys in Gotham City. Well, that symbol has come to life in your nightmare. And of course, that is the moment we do see some kind of man bat, but his head has been replaced with some kind of gun. And of course, that is the moment you do have this man bat with his gun head actually shoot young Bruce Wayne. Now, after you have the man-bat creature actually shoot Bruce Wayne, that is the moment where he does tell Insomnia that Insomnia had messed up. And what he means by that is Insomnia had apparently unlocked something in Bruce Wayne's mind. And Bruce Wayne says, I understand what's happening right now. You're trying to use my fears, my nightmares against me as a way to conquer my mind, to hopefully find the Nightmare Stone. But now I know what I must do. I must go deeper into my mind to hide from you, but to also make sure my fears cannot win against me, and to hopefully wake up from this nightmare and reclaim my body from Dead Man. But once again, you have Insomnia say, you're not listening though, Bruce Wayne. I'm not the one in charge of this nightmare. That right now, when it comes to your nightmare, you are in charge because you did so much to your mind. Your mind's right now creating this nightmare for you to go through. And here's the problem though. The deeper you go into your mind, the more crazy things your mind is going to create for your nightmare. And Insomnia is right, because when you have Bruce go deeper and deeper into his mind, you then have the nightmare change again, where now Batman is Joe Chill, and he's right now holding the gun and about to shoot his own parents. Now, as we jump into the second chapter, that is the moment where we actually do see that back in the world of the living, that you do have the Sandman and also Deadman fighting against the creatures that belong to Insomnia, who are right now trying to get the body of Batman. But we also see that Batman and Robin are apparently hooked up to some kind of machine at the moment. Now, this right here is kind of confusing because if you saw the ending of Night Terrors #2, that didn't happen. Deadman and also Sandman were about to fight against the Sleepless Knights that work for Insomnia, and that is how that book ended. But apparently somehow we have Batman right now and Robin who appeared out of nowhere, and they're both hooked up right now to some kind of machine. So honestly, it's kind of weird. But either way, now we know what's happening in the world of the living for the sake of this story. But getting back into the nightmare of Bruce Wayne, we do see him right now being Joe Chill, and he's about to shoot his own parents. And this is huge because now you're literally talking about the idea of him killing off his own parents in his nightmare. And after he does it, he then gets attacked by his younger self, who of course was there when his parents were killed off. Now, the younger self says to him, "You wanted this. You wanted them to die so that you could become Batman." Now, of course, Bruce Wayne is not bothered by this, but then you have the younger Bruce say, "No, I get it. There's still a part of you that's still attached to this moment," which means that no matter what, you say to yourself that, "Oh, I conquered my fears, my nightmares, I'm okay." There's still a small part of you that's attached to these people right here, attached to this moment right here. So no matter what you do, you are still a scared little boy. Now, that is the moment you have Batman say, "No, I realize what I have to do. I have to break free. I have to lose control so that I'll be able to actually take control of this nightmare." And so that is the moment where we actually do see Bruce Wayne begin to actually travel throughout his nightmare. Now, while he is traveling throughout his nightmare, it's really more Bruce Wayne trying to reclaim his mind, to wake up from this nightmare and reclaim his body from Deadman. Now, with that being said, though, while he is trying to do that, of course, he realized that he's also seeing a lot of different memories or things he thought of that came from his dreams. Like, of course, there was a moment that he had a dream where he fought against Superman. Now, that actually happened back in the Dark Knight Returns storyline. And so that tells us that when it comes to Batman, when he dreams about different things in his life, he is dreaming about different things in other universes that actually happened. Either way, he realized what he must do to actually get rid of this nightmare world, but to also reclaim his body. And of course, he finds the Black Door. Now, before you have Batman being able to actually access the Black Door, well, that is the moment he is confronted by Insomnia. Because once again, Insomnia still believes that Batman or some other hero on Earth right now is holding on to the Nightmare Stone, which means that right now it could be Batman, which means that the Black Door could actually be hiding the Nightmare Stone. But you have Batman say, "No. The Nightmare Stone is not here in my mind or here in my nightmare. Matter of fact, you're not going to find the Nightmare Stone here at all." Now, of course, for Insomnia, he does not believe that. But either way, he tries to use the creatures that were made out of Batman's nightmare against Batman. But again, this is a Batman who realized that when it comes to his nightmare, he's the one in control. He is the one in the driver's seat. And so once he's able to actually defeat these nightmare creatures, you have Insomnia leave. Now, of course, it is Insomnia saying, "Oh no, I have to leave because something else has caught my attention." But to Batman, it's like, "Nah, man, you got scared because you realize I was going to put the hurt on you." Either way, Batman is now able to actually access the black door. And so you didn't have Batman actually open up the black door. When he does, it leads into a great moment because you have Batman tell us, yeah, the younger version of myself from earlier was right, that there's always going to be a small part of me that is going to be attached to the moment my parents died. No matter what happens, there's still going to be a part of me attached to that moment. No matter if I try any kind of methods to conquer all of my fears. Now, when he goes into the black door, it leads him back to Crime Alley, where his parents died, where of course he does again see his younger self. And he asks himself, how would my younger self feel like if he could see me right now? See me as this creature, see me as this Batman. But then he realized what the younger version of himself said right after his parents died, that he's alone now. He has no one left to be there for him. And you have older Bruce tell younger Bruce, you're wrong, because you're going to meet great people throughout your life. And when you do, they're going to build a bond with you, bonds that are so strong that they become your new family. And just like that, Batman is now able to actually wake up from this nightmare. Now, when Batman wakes up, apparently he wakes up in Arkham Tower, which of course we have no idea how or why he is, because when we last saw Deadman in the main storyline, he had the body of Batman, but they were somewhere else. I want to say they were at the base that belonged to Red Tornado. Either way, they were not at Arkham Tower, but apparently he is now. But when he wakes up, he realized that Gotham's right now being attacked by nightmare creatures all over the place. And so to Batman, this must still be a nightmare. But then that is the moment you have Damian Wayne appear. And when he does, he tells Bruce, nah, Dad, you're wrong, father. Right now, this is the real world and we have lost. And of course, we're not going to find out what happened to the real world until Night Terrors number 3. So this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.